Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and this is the best start to 2023 for us as a Manatech Australasian community. Happy New Year to all of you, and may this be our best Manatech year ever. And we're so privileged to have Ray Robbins this morning. I partner with each and every one of you and Dinah Hunter and Gary Knapp because we love what we do, and we have a message that's important, and we need to do our very best to make sure it's no longer the best kept secret, our technology and our opportunity. Now, Ray Robbins is a 3-star platinum presidential and author and is known as the Road Warrior. He's traveled worldwide to support, train, and inspire all he meets while ethically championing the Manatech brand. Ray is from Flower Mound, Texas, and he has greater than 30 years of experience in the sales profession. He has a Bachelor of Science in Biology and Chemistry and served in the military flying helicopters in Vietnam, where he earned the rank of Major. Ray is an active member in his community, receiving the Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and has a real heart for children and especially our Mission 5 Million. The North American Giving Spirit Award is named in his honor, which says it all. Ray co-published the book Get a Grip with his son Kevin, which outlines both everything you need to know and why you should create a residual income in your lifetime. Not only has his and his family's lives been blessed, he's been a witness to countless thousands of other people who have changed their lives with this business opportunity. As the founder of Manatech and a former member of Manatech's board of directors, Ray is indeed positioned to be of the highest support to us. He carries the heart of Manatech on his sleeve, and he's passionate to help the worldwide associate base. Very excited to have you here today, Ray. Thank you.
It's my delight, Sharon. And I always say that I'm so appreciative of your very long-running, regular calls supporting people in Australia. And I found out today that there are some people in England that have been following you guys for a long time. They like your calls as well. And I would imagine that probably there's some people in Singapore that follow you, and some people in some of the Asian countries, maybe some people in the US. You know, I was thinking about that a little bit earlier. If you have so many people that are following you in other countries, maybe an emphasis that I could have on this call is for Australians to reach out to their contacts in other countries that Manatech is in. Maybe in the year 2023, Australians that are serious about this business should work on having a leader in the US, having a leader in Canada, having a leader in Mexico, a leader somewhere in Europe, a leader in South Africa, a leader in Singapore, a leader in New Zealand, and on and on and on. Manatech is a big, big worldwide country. And I think that one of the reasons why there's so many people that are so successful in Manatech is that they have people that are leaders in other countries. I can think of some of the starred platinums that are in the US and Canada, some in Korea, that have organizations in many of our other countries. They didn't stay, nothing wrong with staying focused locally. You can do a great business just being in Australia and just working with Australians. But I would venture to say that there are many people listening to us right now that know people in the US. Are they in your business? You could get them in your business, and like there's going to be a big meeting in the US at the end of January in Seattle. You could have people that you had gotten involved previously at that particular meeting. I am going to tell a whole bunch of people in England about the big meeting that you guys are having March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, as I recall, and have people in England working on people in Australia being in their business. I feel
Ray,
real
can I jump in just for a sec? A few people are asking if you can tip your camera down so we can see more of your face, sort of cut off a little bit.
Well, it's not that good looking, but
there you go.
Is that better?
That is better.
Okay,
Thank you.
maybe I can step forward a little bit. I probably would have corrected that, except for I have a big blank on my face on my screen right now, so I don't see how I'm being broadcast. Fortunately, I can see you real well, and I can see Gary, I can see Diana. I can't see me, though.
Sorry, that's better.
Tell me to adjust however you want to. Since everybody's looking at my face right now, I had stitches removed from my face today. You might be able to see a redness right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because of Vietnam, because of Agent Orange, I am still having things skin-wise that go on with me, and I probably will for the rest of my life because of acquiring Agent Orange in Vietnam. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you about it since you mentioned my face. I told that surgeon a week and a half ago, I said, so besides being a dermatologist, you're also a plastic surgeon because you're working on somebody's face. And he said, yes, I am. And I said, so I'm going to be able to tell people that I've had plastic surgery after this. And he said, yes, you will. I said, so will I look better? And he said, no, I doubt that. He said, my desire is that you don't look any worse after you've been with me. And so today when I went to have the stitches removed, I said, what do you think? And he said, well, you know, I haven't had you in my life for a long time. Fortunately, you've got other things going for you than looks. And I said, well, thanks a lot, Doc. But he's right. He's right. I feel very blessed that our health practitioners can do the kind of things that they do and do them well, maybe. Okay, I'll continue.
They're joking with you in the chat, Ray. They're going, you can't improve on perfection, Ray.
Oh, well, I appreciate you saying that. That's very kind of you. I want to wish all of you a very happy new year. I want 2023 to be the best year all of you have ever had. I intend to make my 2023 exceptional. And the way I'm going to do that is to make the lives of many, many people around me exceptional. I've got projects that I'm going to do this year with my two sons and my daughter, with all three of their mates. I've got projects that I'm going to do with all 7 of my grandkids. I've got projects that I'm going to do with a number of my key leaders in my organization. I started a new leg a week and a half ago that I intend to make a platinum in 2023, and I will keep you focused on that. I think that many of you on this call could be platinums in 2023 or 2024. I think the best way for you to do it is methodical. You don't just have a generalized what you're going to do. You make a plan for what you're going to do in the month of January and February and March. And I'm going to give all of you a plan for January because you have a contest going on right now. You have a contest to defray the expenses of you being at the meeting in March, which will get you guys face to face again for the first time in 3 years. I'm so excited to be getting back in meetings that are face to face again. And you guys are going to have one March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, as I recall. I think I wrote down the particulars here somewhere. And that meeting is, where am I? No, it's March 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the Royal Pines Resort on the Gold Coast. I'm going to tell you a few things about that, but I know that there's a contest going on right now that ends next week. It ends at the end of January. It's January 31st. And it based upon enrollments, you can get your expenses to that particular event defrayed. So your project, for those of you that are interested in this business, is to defray your expenses as much as possible by enrollments that you do before the end of January. And then your next thing to do in February, you can start it now, is to get as many people as you can to be at that event. I have a feeling they'll be broadcasting the event as well. So for those that cannot be there, make sure they're on in a Zoom capacity. It's 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March. I wish I could be there. I know that Chris Simons is going to be there in person. I know that there's going to be a bunch of speakers, some of whom will be in person, some of whom will be virtual. But I've got the agenda basically of the meeting, and it really looks good for showing the strength of the company, the strength of our family, the strength of M5M, the strength of our products, the strength of our business opportunity, the number of people that have been very successful over the 30 years of existence of our company now. I know that you're going to have Dr. Adam Fraser that's going to be speaking, and he has spoken for you before, very well received. You're going to have a great panel discussion of local leaders, Australian leaders. You will have Al Landon and Dr. Nugent with updates that I think will be virtual. I know that Chris Simons is going to be there in person. There'll be a gala awards evening. There'll be training support information that will be introduced. I think that's going to be a fantastic face-to-face meeting. So you should work on being there. I also wrote down some other notes for things that could make your 2023 the best year that you've ever had. I'm going to give you several books that I have read multiple times, and they've made a massive difference in my business, in my life, in my attitude. And if you guys haven't heard me say it before, I think that attitude is 95% of everything. What happens in your life is first occurring between your two ears with your attitude, with your drive, with your planning, with your discipline. I want you to read some books. I wrote down Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you have not read that book, you are remiss. I think everyone that's in network marketing should read that book. And most of those that are in this business have read that book. I would venture to say that there's nobody that's dynamically successful in this space that hasn't read that book. Another one that I recommend is by Eric Worre called Go Pro. And there's one with a similar name that I'm about 2/3 of reading right now that I think fits with Go Pro, and it's called Turning Pro. Thought I had that on the desk here so I could even hold it up and show it to you. I think that's a great little book to show you how important your transition from being an amateur in life to being a professional in life. Many of us go through our whole life as an amateur. We never have that transition. We never have that moment that we jump into a level of maturity where we really get into our purpose. We really get into our level of discipline. We really develop our attitude of no way am I going to accept defeat. I do win. I do take on all challenges and can handle them, and I handle them with a much lower level of stress than most people handle day-to-day life. Those people can tell you the moment that that transition occurred. They remember it like other very, very momentous moments in their life. Some other things that I'd like you to consider reading is my book that's called Get a Grip. I think that many of us have a hard time ever just really getting a grip on life and knowing that we are not in a precarious position at all in any regard. All of the major activities in our life are secure. Our finances, our health, our relationships, our kids, our relationship to our kids and to all the other people around us, our spiritual situation. I think that Get a Grip is an example of that. And after reading Turning Pro, I realized that when I wrote Get a Grip, I was telling everybody about me becoming a pro from having been an amateur, and how the development of my life helped me transition from being an amateur to being a professional. I don't mind telling everybody my level of success. I have been a 7-figure-a-year income earner for better than 25 years, year after year after year. My current way to do that is definitely Manitech. Manitech has been the best vehicle that I've ever done that with. I've made the best incomes I've ever made with Manitech. I think the commission structure is by far the fairest of all commission structures in our space. I think that representing our product is by far the easiest to represent because it's so effective and because of the great guarantee that we give for that product. I think you should participate in meetings like the one that's happening at the beginning of March in your country. I have always believed in showing up. I think that dynamic leaders always show up. If something's in person, they do the best they can to be there. If you can't be there in person, though, definitely be there by virtue of Zoom capabilities. Anytime there's a Zoom training, make sure you're a part of it. You become the leader that God meant for you to become. It's your responsibility to be that leader. You're the CEO of your own company. You're the CEO of your own life. And part of that life, especially in this industry, requires that you be a leader. So you become that leader. And then you foster other leaders. You bring other leaders into existence. You mentor other people into a level of leadership. I can tell you, because of the experiences I've had, that nothing makes you feel any better than to realize that someone that you started mentoring has started mimicking you, duplicating you, becoming a mini you, and having the attitude of success for other people. I think that a great part of leadership has this particular philosophy. When you delight in the successes of other people more than for yourself, you are definitely becoming a leader. When it's really ingrained in you that you're delighting in the successes of other people and you're bringing other people to a level of success, and this is a great vehicle to do that with. It is the best feeling in the world. It's a feeling like when you had your first child. It's a feeling like when you first realized that you were falling in love. It's just right up there at the top of some of the best things that will ever occur in your life when you have an offspring, put that in quotes, of a new leader in your organization. This year, I want each of you to determine how many subordinate leaders you are going to create, and then put together a methodical plan of people that will be following their computer printout that shows them what the next leadership level is for them and how they're progressing to get to that, so that they're constantly ranking up. If the 2 words rank up become a big part of your vocabulary this year, you will be very successful. You want to be aware of your rank up status and be working towards the next rank, and you want to be working with other people in your organization that are doing the same thing. Duplication is the answer. There's no way you can make a 7-figure income like I do with this business, within any company, if you aren't helping many other people become the people that they can become. You have to be the leader first, and then you have to work on creating other leaders doing the same thing that you're doing as a leader. And I have to say this because it's so important to me. I always have been very happy with wherever I am. If I'm working towards a different success level, a different skill level in something, I'm delighted before I get there. I'm delighted with me. I have a personal self-esteem that is extraordinary. And I want you to all have that. I want all of you to be delighted right now with who you are and where you are. And you always stay that way. Otherwise, you choose not to be happy today until you reach certain goals. Then when you get certain goals and you set out new goals, then you put yourself right back into that same place. I'm not there, and I never have been there. I enjoy every moment of life today, no matter where I'm at. And then tomorrow, I'm going to enjoy every moment of that life, and the next day, and the next day. And I want you to do the same thing as you're working towards increasing those ranks, increasing those skills, increasing your own leadership capabilities, increasing the leadership of people in your organization, increasing your awareness of what Manatech products are all about. If you're not telling people things like Manatech has acquired over 150 patents, name another network marketing company that has done that. Name another nutritional entity that has done that. They have not. We have over 94 patents that are still active right now. When you obtain a patent, you proved that your product has in it what you say, it has efficacy like you say, you have proven that your product is of great value, or you don't get a patent. People don't award, countries do not award patents for things that don't work. So we have become the scientific company. You need to tell everybody that. You need to tell everybody, if you think that you should supplement, then probably you ought to take the best supplement. Probably you ought to take the supplements that are made by the scientific supplement company. Take patents, take products from a company that has patents, that has proven the efficacy of their product. And because we're in 30 plus countries, the day you get in business with us for a very small amount of money, you are literally in business worldwide. You're in business in all those countries. And if you know people in those other countries, you can get them involved through social functions. And if you don't know people in those other countries, all you have to do is look throughout your organization, and you'll find other people in your organization that do know people in those other countries. I think, Sharon, that is enough comments for me to say initially. It's probably brought some things to your mind that you'd like me to talk about. And there may be some others that want to ask questions. So I'm going to stop there and let you have control.
Ray, I'm just sitting here listening to you. It's like a cellular, authentic posture that you have in, it's when you talk about what we have, it makes it seem almost unbelievable, doesn't it? When people,
It is.
it's like
God has gifted us so much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
strength of company, strength of product, strength of business opportunity. And those are the most important things for somebody that wants to make their health better, want to make their purpose better, want their economic position better. The only thing that's missing is personal application and stick-to-itiveness.
They're saying we make what you're saying so simple, and it's logic when you break it down to what it is, isn't it?
Reading this book, Turning Pro, in the last few days, one of the lines that I've liked the most that the author has brought up is that while we're an amateur, life is complicated. Life has so much drama in it. When you finally turn pro, or you're in the process of turning pro, all of a sudden things become so much simpler. It's not complicated. My life, I think, is so simple. My life is so peaceful. It is so rewarding. It is authentic, not just for me, but for people that I interface with all the time. I had a grandson that's a freshman in high school last week that was told that he could apply to take a class that he could get college credit for now. And it was only offered to the highly excelling freshmen in the high school he was going to. And he picked the university that he wanted to get that class from, that he wanted to take online and with Zooms. And then he had to pick what he wanted to get the class in, and he chose entrepreneurship.
Oh,
And
really?
then he had to write down why. He had to put together an essay on why do you want to be an entrepreneur. I might tear up a little bit because he said, because I've got a granddad that has such a control on life. He is so happy all the time. And I see him being so successful and extending that success to other people. And I see him constantly in love with other people because he wants to lift them up. And he's constantly lifting them up. And he said, I want to be that kind of a man. So he got accepted to take that class. That's pretty
Wow.
cool when you can have a 14-year-old witness that his granddad has peace in his life. His life is simple. His life is successful. His life is happy. That's what I want to give away to everybody.
Mm.
And it's here for the taking. This vehicle has proven that over and over again for 30 years. The precedent has been set in so many parts of the world by every ethnicity you can think of, by people that don't have any money, that people that did have money, that people that have a lot of education, people that have no education, people that are tall, people that are short, people that are good looking, people that are not. I mean, there's no bars to anybody being successful with this. The only thing that prevents it is the individual not applying themselves. So all the other tools are there. Everything else is in place. Now, there have been some things that have made everything more difficult in the world in the last couple of years. I think that Australia has had the most difficulty of the major countries with COVID. I think the lockdowns, the regulations, the travel restrictions were more difficult for you guys than most. So sure, those kind of things happen. I recommend that people read a book called Who Moved My Cheese when they have a whole bunch of extraordinary difficulties occur, because those aren't things that keep us from success. Those are things that make it a little more difficult, but they don't prevent it.
Who moved my cheese? That's awesome. So Ray, I know something that everybody always wants to know, and that you're such a master at, is introducing people to the business. I know we do this every year, but it's such an important skill, and it's one that people often stereotypically find easier to, talk to people about wellness. So what's your advice to someone here today who feels a bit hesitant about introducing someone to our business opportunity?
About 2 months ago, I decided that I wanted to buy an electric car. I wanted to find out what electric cars are all about. I do believe that we are warming globally, but I don't believe that humans are doing it. I believe that 5 ice ages have come and gone. What made that ice recede? It wasn't cars. It wasn't people. So this globe warms with our involvement at all. So I'm not buying the electric car because of that. But if I can get fuel at a much better price, and I can fill my car up for about $10 worth of electricity, where when I'm filling it up with gasoline, it costs me $65. So I decided to try the electric thing. Well, the third time that I got it charged up, I didn't have a charger put in at my home yet. I'm going to the dealership and to their charging facility. I thought, this sure is a time-consuming thing. I'm going to have to make sure I bring books with me or Sudoku or something, because for me to charge electrically my car at the dealership takes an hour. So I thought, well, that's a fallback. That's a weakness. The second time I was there to charge, I signed up somebody in Manatee. The next time I was there, I looked around and made sure I found somebody I could sign up in Manatee. I think every time I charge my car at that dealership, I will sign up somebody in Manatee. I'm getting free charges there right now. I'm going to find out what it costs to pay for the charges, because I don't want to stop charging up there. In fact, I might go in there to charge up sometime when I'm only half empty. I might not even, I just need to go sign up somebody in Manatee. I think it is so simple and it is so easy to sign up somebody in Manatee. It just amazes me that people have difficulty. And I'm not slighting you if you're having difficulty, but I think that you are programming that it's gonna be difficult before you ever talk to somebody, or when you talk to somebody, you're apprehensive or you don't have the confidence. It's so easy for me to tell somebody what I do. I love somebody say, what do you do? Usually when I'm starting a conversation, I make sure I ask them, what do you do?
Mm.
And I really want to know what they do. But I also want them to ask me what I do. Because then I said, I make people healthier, I give people greater purpose, and I improve people's financial well-being. That's the three major things I do. And so how do you do that? I said, I introduce them to a very scientific line of nutritional supplements, well over 100 patents. No other nutritional supplement company has a whole bunch of patents. They're not interested in proving that their products work, are standardized, or have efficacy, and our company has. So first of all, I'm representing the best line of nutritional supplements. Secondly, I'm telling people our involvement with orphanages. We are currently giving appropriate nutrition to 100,000 children every day in what's called social entrepreneurship. Every time somebody buys a certain quantity of product from us, it automatically generates a month supply of our appropriate nutrition to an orphan somewhere in the world. And right now, there's 100,000 kids benefiting from that every day. So I've proven that my product works and it's guaranteed. I'm telling them about the purpose that's associated with us. And then I tell them, and the third thing is that there are over 100 people that I have introduced this product to directly or indirectly that have made over $1 million with me. Now, that's not to say that everybody can do that, because 4 million people have joined us. But there's an awful lot of people that have made $100,000, an awful lot of people that have made $50,000. And there's an awful lot of people that make more from representing our product than it costs them to buy the product that gives them much better health. So when I do that, I almost always have people say, well, I want to know more about that. I want to know more about that product. I said, I can sign you up right now. I can get you involved with taking this product, and you're doing it at no possible loss, because we have a guarantee for everything that you buy in the US in the first 6 months. You can send it back. You can send the empty containers back and get every bit of it back. I'll follow up with you during the course of that time. I'll tell you what to expect. I'll tell you about how it's going to change your attitude, how it's going to change your joy of life, how it's going to reduce stress, how it's going to improve your immune system. I'll tell you things that's going to happen, and I'll tell you how you can look for them and you can know that it's happened. And if you don't see those kind of changes in 3 months, we're going to stop you taking our product, because then in the next month, you're definitely going to be able to see what you go back to. And people buy. People always buy from me. Now, I don't keep them forever in many cases, and sometimes it's difficult for me to keep the follow-up if I didn't know them well, but I definitely have them for a while, and many of them do stay. And I like, after I have somebody taking the product and after they confirm to me that it's made a difference in their attitude, it's made a difference in their digestion, it's made a difference in their not having a foggy brain anymore. I mean, there's so many things that happen, so many things that you can see. I tell people about Imperzone near the beginning. I said, I definitely want you to have a tube of Imperzone, because you have a bite, a sting, a cut. I want you to put Imperzone on it, because it will prove itself immediately is how well it works. Of course, I have a lot of sun in my area. So during the summer, I tell them, I know you're going to get a sunburn. I want you to put my Imperzone product on just one arm and not the other, and see the difference and feel the difference, because it's immediate. And then I explain to them what is working on their skin that can also work systemically in their whole body if they take my product, Ambertose. So I follow up with them, and then I start talking to them about the economy of it. I said, let's say that you are doing real well. And a lot of people at the dealership I go to don't have a need for money. And that also makes it easier to sell too, because me asking them for $150 a month is nothing. The car that they're driving cost them a couple of grand a month right now because they're driving a Mercedes. But I do have people that I do that same kind of conversation with that I just told you about that are having a difficult time with finances, and it still works. In fact, those people are the ones that are going to be more inclined to get involved with my business part. But I tell them there is no sense in America to say the 3 words, I can't afford. That's unnecessary. Those 3 words need to be eradicated from your vocabulary. Let me get you to a point where you have enough excess that you're keeping up with life. And then let's grow it from there so that you can get to a point where you don't have to tell your kids, oh, I'm sorry, we just can't afford that. I hated that when I was growing up. I hated my parents having 3 words that were the most used words in their life. We can't afford. You can't afford. That's not necessary. I said, I haven't had those words in my life. For 30 years, those words have not been in my life. Now, not that I'm bragging to say that, I'm an example to say that. I want to be an example to you that this is a place where you can have your own business, you can have it at home. It doesn't have the requirements of a lease and rent and salaries and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to maintain inventory. Sometimes I answer that question, Sharon, I think in a way that kind of goes against people's grain because it sounds so simple. It is simple. People cannot, with the foods that they're eating, have the level of health that's available to them if they're getting the most appropriate nutrition. If you ask somebody, what's the most important nutrition to them? They have a blank look on their face. I have an answer. I asked that question. I said, what's the most important nutrition to you? They don't give me an answer. And I say, it's the one you're missing. So what are you missing? Do you know what vitamin you're missing? Do you know what essential fatty acid you're missing? Do you know about all the different things that God puts out there for us? Do you think that the nutrition that's available to you in grocery stores and restaurants is as good as it should be? It's not. I can prove it. Now, I don't know if you guys have this in Australia, but one of the tools I use here is an app that you can put on your phone that's called Fooducate, Fooducate.
I don't think we do.
If that's available to you guys, you can put it on the barcode of anything in any grocery store, and Fooducate will tell you what's missing from that food. It'll tell you the weaknesses in that food. I tell them, I said, put Fooducate on your phone. I want you to use it. I want you to go to the grocery store soon. I want you to put it on as many barcodes as you can of foods that you think are optimally healthy for you, and you'll find out their shortcomings. I'm filling the gap. I'm giving you what's missing. The most important nutrition to you is what's missing. I have what's missing. I want to fill the missing for you so that you can have a higher quality of life. And then I want you to give that away to other people that you care about. And if you've got an interest in changing your financial well-being, I have done that for so many people. If you want to be one of those people, now I don't think it's all that easy. The reason why it's not all that easy is because people find it difficult to believe that their food is so poor. But it is. It's grain harvested. We don't have everything in our food. We don't even let everything grow in our food to full maturity anymore. Then the way we process, something like 78% of our food is processed, and you cannot process without denaturing what's in that food that's good for you. No. At any rate, you have to have this confidence that you know that you're not consuming the nutrition you need unless you take Manatech supplements and you're giving it away to other people. I think the attitude we should all have when we're presenting our company, our product, our opportunity to people is that we come bearing gifts. I come bearing gifts. Sometimes when I look at somebody's face and I can tell that they feel like they're being sold something. I said, I get the feeling that you think that you're being sold something. Maybe it's even a hard sell. And he said, well, you are a little bit strong. You're a little bit passionate. You're definitely up on a soapbox. And I said, well, I am passionate what I'm doing, but I'll tell you what really fits. I'm bearing gifts. I'm giving you something that's so much more valuable than what I'm going to get from you buying the product. You buy the product from me, I might make $2 or $3. Whoopie-doo. You get to have optimal health. You get to have the health that God meant for you to have. And for a matter of a few dollars, I don't think there's anything that you can spend money on that's more important than your health. And if you just give me the opportunity, I'm going to prove to you at no cost to you. If you think it didn't, I'm going to get every bit of your money back for you. No. So I am very successful representing it. And I think that other people can be too. It just takes a level of self-assurance, self-esteem, confidence, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of persistence. And I want to tell everybody out there that's watching this, the most difficult people to represent this to are the people that you love and care about the most. The most difficult people are your very own relatives. I have not become this financially successful selling this to my relatives. I don't have a whole lot of my relatives, other than very immediate, that are taking Manatech products. They think it's too expensive. They think, oh, Ray has always been so successful at anything he's done. I couldn't do that. They don't have any ambition. They don't have any drive. I sometimes wonder if I really belong to their genetic pool. I think that that's true with all of us, though. I don't think that many of us are very successful representing this to the people that are closest to us. We have to get out of our circle. If you'll really look around what we call our circle of influence, you'll find out there's not much influence in your circle of influence, but you've got a lot of influence to people that don't know you from Adam. If you just start a conversation, you got to have the guts to start the conversation. You have to have the guts to counter objections, and there will be some, and you have to do it in a way that's filled with love and care for them. What your goal is to take that person to a higher level of health. And you've got a product line that can do that. You just have to have them use their laboratory to prove that. And when they've proved it in their laboratory, it's so much easier. After they've been taking the products for several months, and they've already told you, I wake up with a better attitude towards tackling the day. When I go through some different situations at work that have been very troubling to me, stressful before, they're not now. I handle things so much easier. I'm treating my wife better. I feel like I've got a pep in my step. I don't have the sorenesses that I had before. And they'll tell you about things that they can tell. And then you say, because of this, you don't ever want to stop taking this stuff. And if the challenge of you taking it is going to be the cost of the product, then let's help other people get the same benefits so that you'll always be making more money than what your products cost. Then you'll never stop taking them. And if you can get to a point where you can make several extra $100 a month, why couldn't you make an extra $6? And if you can get to an extra $600 a month, why couldn't you get to an extra 1,000? If you can get to an extra 1,000, why couldn't you get to an extra 10? After I've had people in my business for a while, I said, hey, let's start talking about your retirement plan. What is your retirement plan? How many more years from now do you think you're going to retire? And what will your retirement income be? And in most cases, they have no idea that they're going to be trying to live on so much less than what they're really capable of living on. I say, okay, if your goal at your retirement is to get this amount of money, let's get you that amount of money now, so that when you retire, you're making double. If you thought you were going to be able to make $30,000 a year with your retirement, let's get you to $30,000 now. Stay with your retirement plan so that when you retire, you're making 60. Now you're not having to live on 40% of what your income was before. You're making a good enough income. And if I can get you to an income with me part-time that's equal to what your retirement is going to be, then why can't we take you higher than that? And we can. I just have to get you there in steps. Right now, you don't believe you can make a couple of extra $100 a month. I'll show you. And if I show you that, then you know the precedent has already been set. It's already been set by you. Double it. And if you double that, double it again. Let's get you to a point where you can take the words "I can't afford" out of your vocabulary and then beyond. Attitude is 95% of everything. And it's that way with absolutely everything. You just have to have that right attitude. In this book that I'm reading about Turning Pro right now, when you really get down to everything she's asking or everything he's asking about the transition, you'll find out that it's an attitude that you develop. People that finally transition from amateur to professional are the people that finally say, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the friends in my life that are always talking negative. I'm sick of the bosses in my life that won't let me excel. I'm sick of having to fight traffic every day to get to work. I'm sick of the prices of everything going up. You know, I think that we should be able to encourage a lot of people to get involved in our business just by virtue of the fact that everything is inflating in price. Beat inflation. Be an inflation buster. Inflation doesn't bother people that can increase their income. If the prices of things go up, well, just increase your income. It doesn't make any difference. I think I heard a couple of days ago that inflation in America has increased the cost of the average American something like $6,000 a year.
Wow.
What does $6,000 a year mean to a guy like me that's making that much per day? Nothing. I just make another six. If I can get to where I'm at right now, then I'll just improve my income where it more than covers that 6,000. Well, the same thing is true of everybody. It's not just me. There's so many managers that know they are inflation busters right now. They just keep increasing their business and it keeps going faster than inflation does. My answers are too long, aren't they?
No. It's like you ooze wisdom. It's just the energy that, it's just, it's awesome.
I pray for that all the time. At my advanced age, I definitely should have wisdom to be able to give away. And so I definitely want that. I don't want to ever talk to anybody to edify myself or to do anything other than be of benefit to the people that are receiving that information. So, and that's what wisdom is. Wisdom is information that improves the lives of the people that I'm talking to. So, thanks.
It's like leaning on the shoulder of a giant, Ray. It's like
I've been doing this for 40 some odd years. And I don't know, Sharon, if you know it or not, but I'm the 5th highest income earner in the history of this industry. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen a publication?
I knew you're in the top 10, but no, I didn't know that.
The top 5. I've grown. I think the first time somebody brought it up, showed it to me, I didn't even know they had such a publication. I think I was number 9, and now I'm up to number 5.
Awesome, Ray.
I'll send you a new publication. Send it out to people. One reason why I tell people that is because I think they listen to me better. I think it gives me a better level of credibility. I don't say it to brag. I'm being an example, and I just want people to listen to what I say. I'm not saying it to be of any other benefit other than to them. And if they don't listen, if they don't follow, if they don't take action in what I say, then it doesn't matter what I say. So I want them to realize that I am a credible source.
And you are, Ray. And you've blessed us today, another hour of nonstop wisdom and excellent coaching that we can model. So God bless you.
I appreciate you, Sharon. I appreciate how long you have kept this going. You are by far the most stalwart performer in this information era in Australia. So thanks a bunch for who you are and what you've done. And thanks
Well,
for
it
your
takes a
team.
village.
too.
Takes a village. So thank you. May the rest of your Friday evening be beautiful. And
Now, have
when
a-
you send me that link, I'll put it for everybody. I'll put it in the comments on the YouTube channel, so that I'll put the link there. So when you go back to review this, you can find it there.
Okay, and I'll send some information that you probably already have it, but I'll send you information on that event that you guys are having in March on the Gold Coast.
Awesome.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
send it
thank you
to
very
now.
much. Okay.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you.
Goodbye, Ray. Goodbye, everybody else. We'll see you next Saturday.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
Bye-bye.